Welcome to Accounting 2242, and my name is Daphne Rickson, and I'm an accounting professor here. So before I get into the course, just a little background on me. I've been an associate professor here since 2008, and in addition to teaching introductory, managerial, and intermediate cost accounting, I also teach in the master's programs as well. And prior to joining St. Mary's University, I was an accountant, worked as a controller, finance director, in those types of positions for over 20 years. And when I'm not doing this type of work, in terms of teaching, I really enjoy traveling. I've traveled to quite a few countries in Europe. I've been to Asia and South America, but I still have quite a few countries left on my bucket list to visit. Okay, so in terms of connecting with me about any questions you may have, my office hours, of course, are virtual, given the nature of the course. So if you want to talk to me, we can have a Skype call. I'm also available by phone. Just send me an email, and certainly if you just want me to answer you by email, I can certainly do that as well. And I commit to responding to emails within 24 hours. The next important piece of information for this course concerns the textbook, and the textbook is listed, of course, in your syllabus, and it's Managerial Accounting, the 3rd Canadian edition, and it includes my accounting lab, so you will need to have access to the lab. So if you purchased your book as a used copy, you can buy the access code separately, but you need the access code because your quizzes and discussion boards are all on the online version of this course. In addition, for the midterm and final exams, we have specifications regarding the types of calculators that you're allowed to use. So the information is listed there in the syllabus, so make sure you read that, but it's basically the same calculator that you're required to use in other business courses here at the university, so you will likely already have one purchased. So now for the important and interesting items about the course, the evaluation. So first of all, we have online group discussions. So we have 4 of those for 2% each, a total of 8%. Then we have online quizzes, 8 of those at 2% for a total of 16. The midterm exam is worth 31%. It's in person. The final exam in person as well, 45%, for a total of 100 marks. So if you live or you're located more than 100 kilometers away from the university, you do have the option to arrange to have an invigilator to write the exams, both the midterm and the final, in the area in which you're located. So you will see a link to the requirements in the form and so on that you'll need to fill out. That's on the system on Brightspace for this course. So given that this is a distance course, sometimes people find it hard to keep on schedule, so I've suggested a weekly schedule here. So it's a good idea to start off reading the chapter, then review the online interactive presentations. So there's online material there that accompanies the textbook. Also, I have a video there for each major type of problem that we are covering in the syllabus. So these are basically problems that I've developed, and I also debrief them so you see how I solve them. So the problems that are illustrated on the videos are representative of the types of material that you would be expected to know and expected to be able to solve in the midterm and final exams. It's also important to do the practice questions. So the syllabus lists the problems that are covered, and I post solutions to those. So it's important to actually do all the questions and then check your answers. Then, of course, you need to do the online quiz and the online discussion board. And the schedule of the due dates of each of those is listed in the course syllabus. So a little bit more about the videos. So what I've done here, I've recorded video for each chapter, except chapter 1, to demonstrate how to solve key problems. There are some problems that you'll see in the syllabus where obviously I've provided the solution to them, but not necessarily a video. That's because it's the type of problem that's easy to follow. So once you see the solution, it will make sense. But the more challenging problems, I've got a video for each one and demonstrating how these problems are solved. And they're all in the problem demo file folder. And in addition, there's some problems that are not in the textbook, but they do reflect key material that is covered there. And the demonstration problems are intended really to supplement the problems in the syllabus. So you will see for each of the demo problems, they are similar to what's in the syllabus. So in terms of learning accounting, the best way to learn accounting is by doing. Obviously you need to read the chapter and listen to the interactive presentations and so on, but when it comes down to learning accounting, you can only learn by doing, as in practicing problems. So you're responsible for all of the problems that are listed in the syllabus, and you should complete them first and then compare your responses to the solution. And so it's really essential that you do work on the problems. Don't just read the problem in the textbook and then look at the answer. It always looks easy when you see it, when you see the answer. But what you should do is take the problem in the textbook, try to solve it, then look at the answer, and that will really help you learn the material and help you to remember it. So next I'm going to give a brief overview of the group online discussions. So those are the discussion boards, and they're worth 2% each, and we have 4. And they cover chapters 4, 7, 9, and 11. So the questions themselves are located in the group discussion questions in My Accounting Lab, and you have to prepare your response and post by Sunday 11 p.m. And it's also important that you respond to at least one other student's posting. So everybody can't wait till 11 p.m. to post your response. You need to do it a couple of days in advance of that to allow other students and yourself as well to read other people's postings and post a response. Given the nature of this course, that it's online and so on, we really can't give extensions or makeups on the discussion boards because everybody's supposed to have completed them by a certain time so you can move on to the next part of the course. So the next thing I want to look at is a bit more detail on the online quizzes. So as I indicated earlier, there will be 8 of those, and they're worth 2% each. And they are located in Brightspace in My Accounting Lab, and they cover chapters 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And the online quizzes are due Sunday evenings at 11 p.m. Solutions are released at 11:01, so for obvious reasons, we can't do extensions and makeups for the online quizzes. And make sure you look at the YouTube video that I have there on Brightspace in terms of understanding and making sure you know that you're completing the correct quiz. So there's lots of practice quizzes in my accounting lab, but you need to select quiz for grading in order to receive a mark for doing it. You're welcome to practice other quizzes, I encourage it, but in terms of what you're required to do for a mark, it's quiz for grading. Okay, with respect to the midterm and final exams, there will be multiple choice. I do 10 multiple choice questions, and the multiple choice are typically word questions, so no calculations for the multiple choice, but the rest of the questions will be problem solving. The midterm exam will cover chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the final exam concentrates on the chapters covered after the midterm, so chapters 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. You will need to understand certain basic concepts that are covered from before the midterm, but largely we will be focusing on the material covered after the midterm. And as I mentioned before, the exams are held here on site, and we can arrange an alternate site if you live more than 100 kilometers away. So now that you have all the basic information about what's required in this course, I have a few tips for success. So first of all, I think it's helpful to prepare a schedule where you insert all your due dates for your various assignments and discussion board questions, and make sure you allow sufficient time. You know, when you're doing online work, you always have to build in a bit of a buffer to allow extra time for, the system could go down, you could have connection difficulties, it's winter in Nova Scotia, there could be a storm and a power outage. You really got to be thinking ahead and not leave everything for the last minute. So anticipate connection issues, or the assignment may be taking a bit longer than you thought it would, so build that into your schedule. And I think when you do that for all your courses, I recommend you do that for everything. Do up a full schedule and identify all the due dates for the various aspects of each of your courses. So having said that, if you do encounter any difficulty with the material in the chapters, there's something you're not understanding, doesn't make sense, please contact me and I will do my best to help you gain an understanding of the material. So the worst thing you can do is kind of leave it and go on to the next chapter without having understood the concepts in the previous chapter. So that, you'll find that too challenging if you do that. So be sure and reach out, get in touch with me, and I will help you work through the problems. So we talked about my accounting lab. So this is where your quizzes are located, where the interactive presentations are, the discussion boards, and so on. So it's really important you follow the registration instructions. You must register from inside Brightspace. And I've got a YouTube video there and also a document on how to register for My Accounting Lab. So if you're having any trouble locating the quizzes and the discussion boards and assignments on Brightspace, make sure you look at all the YouTube videos that are out there in the file folders for this course to illustrate how you're supposed to do this. And also remember, there's lots of practice quizzes, but you're only going to do the one that's marked quiz for grading. So that concludes my brief overview of the syllabus for this course, and I look forward to working with you virtually. And as I said before, please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any issues, if you're having health or family problems that's causing you to miss assignments. You need to let me know in advance so that we can work together to come up with alternate plans that would address your concerns. So thanks so much, and have a good semester.